Sagittarius, welcome to your session. All I ask of you, Sagittarius, is that you do not force any messages. All right, let's get started. Most High, thank you so much for blessing me with the gift of intuition. As an intuitive reader, allow this session for Sagittarius for 2026 to bring clarity, confirmation, and understanding. Thank you. What message or messages do you have for Sagittarius for 2026? There was a direct message though, so let me go ahead and release that to you. And it's about 2026 being gentle. Emotional baby. I want to say labyrinth, the baby Reneth. Well, this is, I'll say, a place. 2026 is not trying to make you feel like you don't belong. 2026 is not going to position you where you have to feel closed in or entrapped or obligated. So this confirms that channel message that I had tapped into about 2026 being gentle. So work on your mental headspace. Have a conversation with yourself. It is safe to do so. And when you have certain conversations in 2026, make sure that you don't have to use this exercise, but something that is a substitute of ways that can reassure you that you are safe and that, whether it's familiar, unknown, or contradicting aspects that you feel and see, whether that is your peripheral or your headspace, or even your sensory of, your how your body reacts to environments, people, places, or things. In 2026, Sagittarius, your awareness is your protective mechanism. Yes, follow your intuition. Don't doubt yourself, but you have to take accountability, Sagittarius, in 2026 to be able to get out of your comfort space. All right. So 2026, you're taking responsibility. You may position yourself to become more organized. When it comes to support, follow your intuition. But if it's unfamiliar, don't give it the benefit of the doubt, because that means you're going against your intuition. But if it's something that will teach you something or allow you to grow or expand, okay, in a positive aspect, where there's production, where things are being produced, whether that's a good memory, a good experience, an opportunity, Sagittarius, don't self-sabotage. Don't self-sabotage those opportunities. Okay. All right. And emotional librarian says, you feel trapped in loops of repeating emotions. The way forward is through awareness, not resistance. Observe the pattern to find the hidden door. Shed light on this having access to Sagittarius in 2026, please. Shed light on Sagittarius and having access to Sagittarius in 2026. Unconditional love. You gotta, some of my Sagittarius is even my zodiac sign who have Sagittarius placements. Not too much so those of you who are in Sagittarius energy. For those of you who are in Sagittarius energy, it's not yours. But those of you who have Sagittarius placements, if you're another zodiac sign, including with my zodiac of Sagittarius, you know, unconditional love. Your definition of unconditional love may not be my definition of unconditional love. And there will be some competitiveness, Sagittarius, that you have to work on. It's kind of like, you know, you don't have to accept other people's belief systems or how they show up for you. You don't have to accept that, but you got to respect it. Because I don't see that anyone is not open to your unconditional love or your mindset or your belief systems or just how you go about, how you orchestrate your practices every day. Not wanting to be bothered, or if you're wondering in 2026 why you're not getting the result of attention, it's because you're unapproachable. And being unapproachable is not a bad thing, but it's a place and a time to be unapproachable. So if you position yourself in 2026 where you're wanting to be approached, you're going to need to work on your body language. Okay. You may not be as an affectionate person in 2026. And maybe that's something when it comes to shedding light at this time. Are you open, you know, to opening up a little bit and experiencing, you know, the acceptance of being accepted for who you are? And maybe that may be confusing, you know. Um, Bottom of the deck, everything turns to light. Truly be your authentic self in 2026. I'm not seeing this unconditional love be a low vibration energy. I just see this as inner work. I see this as, what do you call it? Working on your interpersonal skills. Your house, Sagittarius, deals with healing. And so it looks like you're not using spaces in 2026 to get to the root of needing affection. It just looks like you are using the absence of a type of affection as fuel to set your mind or whatever it is that you set your mind of doing, people, places, or things. Okay. You have to be willing to learn from others as well. And you have learned to love myself coming through. Behind everything turns into light. I know this energy very, very well to a certain degree, Sagittarius. Why is Sagittarius closed off in 2026? I'm going to see if a card turned over. I felt like it did. But what you don't see is love can conquer everything. You'll hear me say this every now and then. that love comes in many styles, forms, and love comes in many different types of experiences. And 2026, it looks like you're going to finally accept the terms that the love that you serve is on a high scale, and that when you receive different types of love, you have to be acceptable to that's how they serve love and then move accordingly. Okay. Give me a direct healing message for 2026 for Sagittarius. Give me a healing message for Sagittarius for 2026. Something you're undecided about when a card kind of just tried to turn over on its own. Embracing the moment. All right. You don't have a difficult time with being present. That's very clear in 2026. But it just feels like the memories that you have hoarded up to this point is how you're going to base your decision making with your involvement or your interactions. And forward to experiencing, it's like you're keeping everyone up to their word. And if they are not, it's kind of, how do you say that when someone makes a promise? You're not engaging until the promises are fulfilled, I should say. Your direct healing message is embrace the moment, Sagittarius. It says, embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself and others. This may be harder than you think. What's actually happening is that you're changing your energy. Maybe that's the healing, the awareness that, as time progresses, you know, I don't, I've come to the terms that, time doesn't pass by, it progresses. It's like it's adding, it's not subtracting. Um, and the only time you're subtracting time is when you are caught up in these hoarding memories of these promises um, that haven't been fulfilled. I see why you could be detached in 2026, and that is you're not giving anyone permission to think for you, to create projections that are not yours. And I get it, you know, independence. Uh, but when it comes to life, you know, sometimes people come into our lives, are in our lives, and in their season, right? And regarding Sagittarius, sometimes they are positioned to reveal to us what we must learn. And that could be a challenge for you in 2026, being open to the unknown of what you're not aware of because of the promises that have not been kept. What is these? Give me more context about these promises. And basically, what that means is kind of like you're holding people accountable, Sagittarius. And I don't see you're the one that is needing the healing from that. You know, it's kind of like Sagittarius. If I know that I want to be a part of your timeline in 2026, I know that I have to turn over a new leaf with you and take accountability and ask for forgiveness. And it's kind of like those who know what they need to do, they know that the only way that they'll be a part of your timeline is by doing so. You're not accepting any toxicity, even though you do have some toxic traits. You come from a toxic background, but that does not define you. It just says you have experience. So it's kind of like you can see through people and what baggage comes with them. I'm not seeing you wanting to go back into those places of entertaining anything that will cause you to taint your future. When it comes to this link that was clarifying your healing direct message, it says the bond of love grows stronger over time. So the lesson here is being open to the different forms and styles of how people serve love. Sagittarius, what is it that Sagittarius is refusing to see? Mark, when you say, are they close? Can you give me, I'm not really understanding the question because I was channeling. What is it that Sagittarius for 2026 is refusing to see? What is this? Distrust is up in the air. Like I said, confirmation, the promises that are way overdue, or should I say the apologies that are way overdue. It's not stopping your focus or your progress in life. It is the cracks that need to be refound. Like, if it's a crack, you got to fill it, but it feels like you're like, no, I'm not going to fill it. I'm just going to, reconstruct my foundation. And so it's going to be harder to get to you, even just with basic communication. Do I see you? There's a possibility of being cordial or disrespectful. It's up to you, and your disrespect will be kind of more so like a mute, how dare Sagittarius not speak to me? Well, if gossip surrounds that, if the story let it be told, you will be right. Sagittarius will gravitate more people towards you because they're going to want to know what is the tea. And people are going to be thirsty for that. And how they're getting the tea is the truth from those who are not turning over a new leaf with you, but they're turning it over through conversations about you. So it's working in your favor, regardless if they come to you or not. So it's kind of like, I'll say your enemy is preparing your throne for you. And it's a throne to where when you decide to take that position, that authority, you can decide to let them in or not. And if you decide to not let them in, all of those recruitments are supporting you because you are the one who is innocent in the situation. But moving forward, what other messages do you have for Sagittarius for 2026? We don't make people our footstools in this community because that positions you to get bad karma. But what we do is we do open a space, right, for an enemy to expose themselves and create themselves of being their own footstool. What other messages do you have for Sagittarius? You're not taking any risks. You are moving forward. And when you move forward, it just feels like you're being asked not to take any breaks because when you do, there's a possibility of burnout. I don't know what that means. and passion. A closed door is an invitation for life to move in an even better direction. It's time to change course. Just stick to one thing at a time. Power up in a reverse. Upright. Not upright, up in the air. If you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. You can't be hard on yourself in 2026. The moment you're hard on yourself, those are your breaks. And that's where you create the burnout from being hard on yourself. So be kind and gentle. You have peace here. Try not to keep your emotions, don't conjure your emotions. You need to find an outlet to prevent you from conjuring your emotions. Okay, in 2026, you'll be fine. If you don't find an outlet to control your emotions or to be able to express yourself, it is going to pivot you into other directions that are unknown. Give me a direct message for Sagittarius in 2026. Accepting challenges. So Sagittarius, I may be the bearer of bad news, or you may not like me for this, but you're going to have to get out of your way. Okay? Because in order for your enemy to become their own footstool, you have to get out of your way. If you choose to make your enemy your footstool, I'm here to tell you, you will get back karma. But if you also choose to go within, there will be a new direction that you take in 2026. Shed light on that for me, Sagittarius, please. You have peace and the calm. Nice. I love this. And you should love it too. It's time for you to experience new things and be open, Sagittarius. So get out of your own way. I'll say that. What other message you have for Sagittarius? The message you have for 2026 for Sagittarius. Oh, dance. The truth is, 2026, going into 2026, you haven't truly been operating as your true self. You've been keeping it to yourself. And that's okay, but just know that when you do that, that's confirming the resentment from people the apologies that are way overdue. But let's get the direct message of this dance in 2026 for Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, it says, experiencing the inner positive and negative energy building up, I will cleanse my spirit with a dance. Feeling the freedom dance frees me of my worries. When I move my body to my heart content, I feel the energy shifting in my surroundings. I know my spirit will expand as I move in the rhythm life brings me. Don't worry about what people think, Sagittarius. It's not that you don't care, it's just get back to your old self. You can do it in 2026. And there's nothing stopping you from you operating from your true, authentic space. Give me a word of advice for Sagittarius for 2026. Oh, self-esteem, service, and gratitude. You are an amazing person, Sagittarius. You know it. Share it. Share your amazingness. And everything else will fall into place. You have a self-esteem, service, and gratitude. The situation when it comes to the hospitality of life, you know, you do it very well. Without reward. Give me an overall message, word of advice. Success. And you can definitely be compensated for it. There's no obligation, okay? All right? Whatever you're good at, especially when it comes to the hospitality of life, that's huge. That's not just focusing on one person at a time. That is, you belong and you can get compensated for belonging. And that's very rare for people. Most people have to pave the way. Your experiences is your merits. So, congratulations, Sagittarius. What are the messages we have for Sagittarius for 2026, please? What are the messages you have for Sagittarius in 2026? Forgiveness, confirmation. Remember those promises we were talking about? And apologies that are way overdue. Let's go ahead and get the direct message in regards to this forgiveness for 2026. We have Gemini, Taurus, Cancer energy. 32 could be significant. Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Live, love, and learn. It says, allow your healer guides to help you rise above shame and enter the loving flow of the universe. Stop harshly judging yourself. There is no point. Confirmation, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, whenever you need to come back to this session for 2026, it will be available for you in your individual zodiac sign folder. What are the messages do you have for Sagittarius, please, for 2026? Thank you. Silence and abundance. This is nice. Transformation. Be open to new experiences for 2026, Sagittarius. You belong. And I think you're going to have to remind yourself that quite often. Okay. When it comes to this transformation, what is the direct message, please? Let's see. All right, Sagittarius, it says positive changes are coming. Old structures, beliefs, and ideas are falling away and will be replaced with vitality and new pathways. Soon you'll be seeing the world in a fresh way. Confirmation, Sagittarius. All right, let's go ahead and pull your angel guide message for 2026. Whenever you are in the space where you need to be reminded, all right, it will be available for you, Sagittarius. Angel guide message for 2026 for Sagittarius, please. Ask and receive, Sagittarius. This is nice. So tell pride to be still in 2026. Ask and receive. Let's see. All right, your direct angel guide message, Sagittarius. It says you may feel that your prayers aren't being heard, but that isn't true. Angels have heard you and are suggesting you to take time to assess where in your work or relationships you may be creating barriers to success. We've talked about this in the beginning of the reading. Moving forward, when you are open to seeing and doing things differently, Sagittarius, you will experience the answers and miracles you need. Confirmation. You are being encouraged to pray from a space of gratitude now. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you will align your energy with the miraculous. Heaven is encouraging you to welcome support in all areas of your life, Sagittarius. Confirmation. Sagittarius, don't forget that love is kind. And please don't forget that love is gentle. Until we meet again, Sagittarius.